In this video, we are going to show you how to set up a self-hosted Willow server. Now, for those who don't know how to do this, like myself, or those who are not, or maybe limited when it comes to this knowledge, uh, LLMs are very capable now, and one of the things that I'm going to use is Emergent AI. Now, here we can have Emergent do this for us. Now, how do we do this? Well, you need to create a prompt that will help Emergent do this for you. So I have this. So as you can see here, the prompt is build a production-ready self-hosted Willow inference server, or WIS, for high-performance speech-to-text. So technical requirements: core, use Python with fast API to handle WebSocket connections for real-time audio streaming. Inference engine, integrate faster whisper for the speech-to-text or STT backend. Infrastructure, generate a Docker file and a Docker compose.yml file. Include health checks to ensure the STT engine is loaded before accepting connections. Hardware optimization, optimize for CPU-based inference using ctranslate 2, but provide an environment variable toggle for NVIDIA GPU CUDA support. And then API compatibility, ensure the server implements the Willow protocol for compatibility with ESP32 S3 box hardware and the Home Assistant Willow integration. And then security, implement basic token-based authentication for the WebSocket endpoint. And then lastly, please show me the architecture diagram first and ask any clarifying questions about my hardware specs before generating the final code, right? So we can do this, or we can just, there we go. We could add this, but if you're not confident, or you really just want to vibe code, you can just remove this if you want and just stick with this with the technicals, right? So after that, we can just press send. There we go. There we go. And of course, the welcome message of Emergent is always going to be, this is exactly the kind of infrastructure. So it's going to actually goad you to like, oh yeah, you made the right decision for doing this, right? It says here, I'll set up your fast API foundation with WebSocket streaming, containerization, and infrastructure for GPU optimization. We'll iterate from there, and then let's build. So now we're just going to wait for it to set up. So again, it depends on how fast. It's still going to take a lot of time. Like Emergent does take a lot of time to go through things, and you need to be patient when it comes to this, because even if you're just vibe coding or whatnot, it still takes some time, right? Another thing you want to take note is while it's doing this, as you can see, I cannot send another message to the agent, unlike other LLMs, right? Now, okay, before I start building the Willow inference server, I would like to clarify a few details. So again, another thing is when it asks you before it proceeds, it's going to ask you listically, and then it's going to give you multiple choice. So one, we're going to go with A. Two, we're going to go with A. Three, we're going to go with A. This is the most simple. Four, we're going to go with A again. And then five, we're going to go with A. So after that, send. So now it's going to be more pinpointed. It's going to be more specific, and it's going to do exactly what we want and have a more specific direction for Emergent to do its thing. Right, there you go. As you can see, as it says here, I'll build a Willow inference server with Tiny Whisper model, and English only support, single static token auth, CPU only default mode, and port 08001. And it's going to start exploring the current setup and researching the Willow protocol specifications. Now, again, if you want to go through this, you can just, it's a drop down box. Right, there you go. All right. It says here, now I'll implement the Willow inference server and let me create the complete solution with WebSocket support, faster Whisper integration, and Docker containerization. So as you can see here, it created 5 files, and whenever it creates something, this is automatically going to slide from the right, so you can see what it's doing visually, right? So there you go. Now I'll implement the Willow inference server, right? This is the first one. Now let me update the requirement text to include the necessary dependencies for faster Whisper, and then create a simple test client and update the backend.env file with WIS configuration. So again, it's just gonna slowly do this, right? And again, you need to be patient, right? Even though, it still takes a lot of time, it's still faster than doing this manually. All right, now that we have seen something here, there we go. Now let me create a simple web front end to test the WebSocket connection. Check if we need to add more man font and start the server to test. So as you can see here, inference server, real-time speech text WebSocket testing. So we have this. You can actually interact with the elements here. There we go. So it's going to restart the backend to load the WIS server and test it. So here you have an option to connect and disconnect and interact with it. Server is starting and downloading the Whisper model. Let me wait for it to fully load and then test the health endpoint. All right. Let me stop the background process and integrate WIS into the main server.py. There we go. So again, the good thing about this is we prompted it to actually test it and retest it and see if there are any errors and then correct these errors, right? Like the LLMs like emergent are very good now. There's still a long ways to go, but as is right now, unlike before the earlier LLMs, you just ask it to do something and it's going to do it without testing or stress testing anything. Right, it says here, restart the backend to load the new integrated server with WIS functionality. Next is going to wait the server to start and the model to load, and then they're going to test it again, right? Server is healthy and the model is loaded. Now let's test the info endpoint and take a screenshot of the front end. There we go. Okay, now we have a screenshot. There we go. If you click on this, you're going to see it here. There we go. Front end compiled successfully. Let me check the supervisor status and wait a bit for more before taking another screenshot. It says here before that front end is unavailable. Let me check the front end logs and restart it. So again, it's just going to test it, see if there's an error, restart, test, so on and so forth. Okay, previous unavailable. Let me check the console logs to see what's happening. So this is what we see here, right? There we go. And it says here, I see it's showing the preview unavailable page 404 at root. Let me check the local access. So it's doing its thing. It's problem solving, right? Front end HTML is being served. The issue seems to be with external preview URL sleeping. Let me restart front end and try the direct external URL with curl, right? So again, it's going to do some trial and error. Actually, a lot of it, because again, we've told it to do so. And see here, it says a screenshot, which is pretty much what we have. Server info loaded. There we go. Compared to this one. The Willow inference server frontend is loading and showing the server information. Now let me test the WebSocket connection by clicking connect, right? So compared to this before, this is what it's going to be looking like right now. There we go. It says connected, start recording, stop recording, so on and so forth. There you go. Right, it says here, excellent WebSocket connection is working perfectly, connected successfully, authenticated successfully. Audio input section is now visible with microphone recording and file upload options. Now let me create a simple test audio file and create comprehensive documentation. Let me also create a quick integration guide. So it's going to give you a guide right here. If you want to load it, you can just go over everything if you think that you really want to do or double check everything for yourself. There you go. And then let me check the backend logs, ensure everything is running smoothly. Now we're at the backend, and then afterward there's going to be, project-wide testing before we're able to just finish everything here. Right, perfect. The server is running well in handling requests. Let me now create a final summary document, which is pretty much this, right? And again, you can go through everything if you want. There you go. Perfect. Now let me take one final screenshot showing the complete interface and then provide a comprehensive summary. So this is a screenshot, and as you can see, it is now working. There we go. Compared to this one here, right? If we close this, right? See the preview if you want. It's gonna look like this now, right? This is the refresh version. Okay, we have dinged. So as you can see here, the Willow interface server is fully functional. Let me now provide a comprehensive finish summary. Willow interface server, production ready. I've built a complete production ready Willow interface server for high performance speech text transcription. So core features implemented, backend fast API plus fast whisper. So these are what we have, and then front end React plus WebSocket client, Docker infrastructure, documentation and testing. So we have readmes, we have deployment guides, we have a test, we have project summary. And a quick start, we have a quick start guide here. There we go. Performance speed is 50x real time on CPU, tiny.en. Latency is less than 500 ms for short audio clips. Memory is 1 to 2 gigabytes of RAM. Security token authentication, course configuration, HTTPS ready. Key files, these are the key files. There we go. And next actions that we can take later. So test with real audio if you want. Production deployment, GPU acceleration if we want, and integration. Right, an enhancement idea. It actually gives us an idea to make it better. So add streaming transcription, then returns partial results in real time as audio is being processed, perfect for live captioning or voice assistance. So again, we have created and set up a self-hosted Willow server using an LLM, i.e. Emergent AI, and we can just click on Open Puri or just make sure that we can deploy this right now. Right, as it says here, agent is finished. We are done. So that is how you do it. Pretty much it. That's the video. Hope you liked it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell icon. I'll see you on the next video.